Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Layla and this is going to be a pick a card reading to find out what the person on your mind is thinking about you today or just thinking about in general. So we have 3 piles to choose from. Pile 1 is this aquamarine. Pile 2 is this clear quartz. And pile 3 is smoky quartz. So go ahead and choose your pile and we'll jump right into pile 1. All right, let's take these out of the way. And I've pre-shuffled. I don't usually, but this time I'm going to do that. So this is tapping into the energy of today whenever you come across this. Specifically on this day when you're watching, what is the person on your mind thinking about? So they're definitely thinking, if this is a romantic relationship, they're definitely thinking about you. I feel like whoever you're thinking about is thinking about you right back. Like it's this mutual thing. So you're thinking of them in more of a loving space. So whoever relates to the feminine energy in this, that is the one that's in a more loving point of view, like a little more detached, a little like not clingy type of love, but this is like just having this appreciation for the whole journey, for all the parts involved. And then the masculine in this situation is feeling very fired up, very intense, and I feel like one person is at peace and one person is not. So whoever resonates more with the feminine is going to be the one who feels more at peace currently with whatever is going on. The masculine is the one who's kind of like uneasy, antsy. They just have this energy that it's like, I have to do something. I can't just rest. I can't just sit. I need to take action. I need to move. So you can tell kind of based on that who you are in this situation. All right, it seems that one reason why you're having kind of different perspectives is because the feminine is viewing this situation as like they're tapped into fate. They're tapped into divine timing. They're like, whatever happens, happens, and I trust the process. I don't need to know the details. I understand it's all working out for my highest good. That's all I need to know. And the masculine, they're the ones that are uneasy with this. They're the ones that they're very into the physical of how things look right now. And maybe on the surface, it looks like there's no reunion or no hope, or it's like they're tapped into the physical world where it's a completely different story than the world that the feminine's tapped into, which is this like hope. It's all meant to be. It's all coming together. So let's see more about this. And I'm guessing that those of you that picked this pile are most likely the feminine in this. So I'm going to be reading or tapping into the masculine as the person. This person, you know, I'm going to just turn them all over at once. So we have action in reverse, angel of balance. Okay, so kind of like I was saying before, how you guys are both like on opposite ends of the spectrum, or like you're like these polar opposites, but there's a sense of balance, like you're maintaining the balance for each other. So it's like you're having the hope and the faith and the trust while they can't, and they are having this like intense energy, so you don't have to have it. So it's like you're both kind of taking on what you're best at the moment. So this person, it feels like this is really, whatever situation's going on, it's really coming together at this time, and like in the physical. And it's like, it's reminding me of when a plane lands, and as it's landing, the landing can kind of feel a little rough or a little shaky, or it's like you can feel sometimes one wheel hits the ground first and then the other, and it has to balance for a moment, and then it does, and it lands and it stops. But it's like that landing moment, like you guys are landing in the same timeline now. So you could have been on different timelines that were always inevitably coming back to meet each other. And it's like you're in that meeting now and you guys are having this like recalibration, and it really does feel like this is right when everything is about to happen or about to manifest. This is like this person, it's their last step of being in their mind and not taking action. Like I said, they're very wound up, they're very fired up, they're very ready to go and ready to take action that they haven't yet taken. And they've like everything inside of them is telling them what to do. Like there's no alternating voices in their head like do this, no do this. Like there's no devil and angel. Like all the voices are telling it one thing, or telling this person one thing, which is to go, to take action. And it just feels like it's inevitable that they're about to. And it feels like this is the next step in healing whatever was broken. Like you've done the healing on your own already as much as you can, but now it's ready for you guys to come together and do that healing together, because there is a mutual love, and that's what's been drawing you back to each other. So maybe in the past you were with this person, but there were so many issues, there were so many like unhealed traumas between you two, that although there was love present, there was so much to deal with that it got in the way. And it feels like you had to separate for a time so that you could individually heal these things, because it was like something about being together made it too distracting, or too like you were too focused on the other person to be able to heal your individual issues. And it's like you may have projected your issues onto each other in an attempt to heal. So you had to be separated to really project it back to yourself and be like, oh, it's coming from me, I can heal it. So like I said, you guys have done that inner work, that individual inner work already. And now it's that moment where you're ready to come together and do the next phase of healing, which does require you to involve each other. So it feels like that's where they're at right now. They already know where life is pushing them. There's no confusion about that. They know what they need to do. It's just really, now's their time to do it. So that's all I'm getting for you, pile one. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see more, feel free to like and subscribe. And we will move on to pile number 2. Just put these away. And we'll clear the energy. From pile 1. Okay. So, moving on to pile 2, the clear quartz. Let's find out what it is the person on your mind is thinking about or thinking about you today. So I'm just gonna flip them all over at once, I think. We'll see, maybe not. So right away, first, is what is coming out is that this person is in a bit of a reserve state. They're feeling some type of reservation. It's like when you know what to do or where to go, but there's like this thing that says, wait, just not yet. There's just one more thing. It's like that inner feeling that kind of is very much their intuition that's telling them to wait. It's not their fear. It's like a quiet voice. It's not a loud, stop, wait. It's like a quiet, wait just a second type of voice. So I think this person, they're very connected to their intuition at this time. I think they've been healing that or working on that, like getting back to listening to their own inner voice versus what everybody else is telling them. It feels like this person has taken their own power back and kind of found faith in themselves again, in their ability to make the right choices or decisions for themselves. This person is coming down off of some like intense energy that had them fired up, even upset, angry, and it's like now they're cooling off, they're calming down, they're feeling a bit more reserved, a bit more patient, a bit more calm. And I think that was that intense energy that came before this, it was their own energy returning back, their own power returning back to themselves after it had been spread apart or spread all around for so long, or in the hands of the wrong people. So this person is gaining clarity. Everything's starting to click for them. Everything's starting to make sense because they're getting out of this fighting energy. They're not feeling so defensive anymore. And it's like when you're in that fight or flight mentality, you're only focused on surviving and you miss all the other things and all the details. So they're now noticing the things that were always there, but they may have missed it because of the state of mind that they were in. So let's see if we can find out if they're thinking of you. So they're thinking that something is definitely not over. Definitely not. Like and I think when they were in the previous energy of like fight or flight, maybe that told them this is done, this is over, there's no chance, keep moving on, keep moving forward. But now that they're able to hear those quieter inner voices, that the fears were too loud for them to hear before, but it's like they're realizing, wait, whatever they thought was lost or hopeless or like done for good, they're realizing, wait, maybe I have a chance actually. Maybe there is an opportunity. Maybe it's not all hopeless. Like this person could have come from a very like all or nothing mindset. Like there's no in-betweens, there's no gray, it's just black or white. And now they're starting to realize all the gray that they were oblivious to in the past. And I think this is kind of giving their heart some happy butterflies, because before it's like they couldn't even be excited or happy about something because that wasn't the reason why they were doing things. They weren't doing things to be happy. They were doing things to survive. So yeah, maybe you survived another day, but are you happy? Like they didn't even have the luxury of thinking that way. So let's get anxiety, appreciation, and angel of strength. This person is feeling a lot right now. They're facing their, I didn't want to say facing their demons or shadows, but that's what was coming through. So maybe that is the case. But it's like they're both aware of, how should I say this? They're realizing what they didn't realize before, and it's bittersweet because they're happy that now they're able to see it. And like I said, now they're like, wait, maybe there is a chance, maybe there is hope. But at the same time, that comes with facing all that they rejected or all that they pushed away, all that they didn't notice. Like they could be struggling right now to not feel too hard on themselves. Like, I should have known this. I should have done this sooner. I should have realized. Like their task right now is actually to have compassion and patience with themselves. Because if they're just going to go back and be hard on themselves, like, why did you do that? It's like they're going back to the same old cycles, and they're not trying to do that anymore. They're not trying to be so harsh and critical of themselves anymore, because they've realized that doesn't help them, and that's not a positive way to think about themselves or their life. So I think this person is gaining a new sense of strength, which is coming from having self-compassion and not looking back in regret and thinking I should have, could have, would have, but thinking I did the best I could at that time with what I had. Now things are different. Now my best has changed, but I'm not going to expect more than my best, because that's impossible. So I think this person is letting go of the unrealistic standards that they've placed on themselves, which in turn, it's like all those unrealistic standards they may have projected onto you or on the people closest to them, or just on their life in general. So they were very critical of things, very like too strict or like too intense when things don't need to be that big of a deal. But it's like that was because that's how harshly they were criticizing themselves. And the only way they could stop treating others that way is if they stop treating themselves that way. So I think that's what's happening for them now, is like they're being faced with these feelings which in the past they would have really resented and been like really angry at themselves, but now they're having love and compassion for themselves instead, and that's making all the difference. And I think it feels like they're a bit more focused on themselves than you or than another person right now. But this is really important because this is where it starts. Like when they do this healing first, that's what allows them to treat you and everyone else better, because they're not going to have this internal hang up that they're projecting onto you. So it feels like today they're going through these feelings and trying to meet them with a new energy that they haven't previously had before, and they're trying to have appreciation for themselves and for their journey, and just like look at themselves like, I'm just learning. This is a life school. Like I'm learning. I don't need to be so hard on myself. It's not always bad or versus good. Sometimes it's just learning lessons. And so this person, this is like a really healthy mindset change that they're having right now, and it's only going to lead to better things in their life and better things with you and anyone else connected to you. So that is all I'm getting for you, pile 2. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more, feel free to like and subscribe, and I will see you next time. All right, we're gonna quickly clear the energy and move on to pile 3, which is this beautiful smoky quartz. Almost forgot the name for a second. We'll put it there, and let's get into it. Pile 3. What is your person thinking about today? Thinking about in general, or thinking about you? So this person is in acceptance of the past, of something that in the past they couldn't accept, but now they're finally ready to accept it. And this is about a choice they made that, okay, this could be connected to pile 2 if you felt drawn there, because this also has the energy of someone who is super hard on themselves, and because of that, wait, I almost lost what I was gonna say. Okay, this is someone who they're realizing what their own decisions cause. Like they're kind of taking responsibility. They're not trying to blame anyone else or say, well, that's why I did this, or this plus this is why it made me act this way. They're no longer looking outside of themselves for like, oh, well, this person is to blame, this person is to blame. This person is taking responsibility for their life, which is something that's new to them. Because in the past, it felt like a negative thing. Like, oh, I'm the bad one, I messed up. And it was full of like self-judgment. But now they're realizing taking responsibility is not saying I'm bad, I mess up. It's saying I'm in control of my life. I'm responsible. I'm in control. I have the power. And they're realizing that it's not disempowering to take responsibility for their life. It's the opposite. So today, this person, it's like they couldn't face something before because it was so heavy, and they were just like, they didn't want to feel blamed for it. Like this person was very much in a victim mindset. Like, well, this is why, and it was because of this, and it's because they were so hurt in the past, like, I don't know, their childhood or whatever they experienced. It's like it led them to be someone who cannot take responsibility because it feels horrible. It feels like I'm bad, I'm wrong, I'm messed up. Like that's what taking responsibility meant to them in the past. And so it was like, and they were still in this victim mindset where they needed the validation. They needed to be saved. They needed to be helped. They were in a lack, in need. And so this person, I keep losing what I'm trying to say. They were in that space of victimhood, and so they were unwilling to take any kind of responsibility for anything they did, and they always had an excuse for why, and it was never them, it was always someone else. The excuse was always someone else. And so this person, now that they're changing their mind about what taking responsibility means, they're able to actually say, you know what, I did do that. This really difficult thing to face. Like they could have hurt you so bad that they couldn't face that, and they always had a way to explain it. Well, it's okay because of this, or I only did that because of this. And it's like now they're facing that, what they did, and it's so heavy, but they're ready to face it and take responsibility for it. So let's see what else. Okay, interesting. We have the Queen of Pentacles here and the Queen of Pentacles here again. This person is like, I'm trying, it's so clear in my mind and I'm trying to find a way to explain it. It's almost as if they're elevating, like they're going up and down at the same time. And what I mean by that is they're going up in a sense of like elevating their consciousness, elevating their mind, their perspective. But they're going down as far as like taking themselves off this fake high horse, like off this ego trip. They're coming down, back down to reality. So they're coming down and going up at the same time in that situation. But it's like they're taking themselves down a notch and facing what's real. They were in this like this delusional place in their mind, but they're actually facing reality now. And it's so heavy though, because of the things they did in that victimhood mindset were so out of character for their true self, and they're feeling that dissonance between what actions they took and what their true character is. They're feeling that. This person, but the thing is, as heavy and intense as it feels, because this person has got to a place where they're, like I said, taking back power and taking back responsibility, they're actually transmuting this. This person is a natural transmuter of energy, a natural alchemist, whether they realize it or not. I feel like they know on some level, like they may not have the words to describe it, like, oh, I do this with energy, but it's like an inner knowing. They can feel what to do and they can feel what they're doing with it. So this is this person like ready to take responsibility. Like they don't see it as something they want to run from. So this person has really grown, like from a child to like an adult in their mind. Like maybe on the outside they were already an adult, but they still had a very childlike mindset and mentality about life. This person has finally grown up and like gone from a little prince to a king. Like they've stepped into their power, into their role. And because of that, they're not afraid to take responsibility. They're not afraid to face these things. Like the fear they once had, yeah, 5 of Pentacles in reverse. They're ready to take this blindfold off. They're ready to face what they couldn't face before. Like, and they are facing it right now. And this is so important because this is the step that's necessary in order for progress. They had to get here in order to go forward at all. Like this is how they're breaking out of the cycle that they've been in literally their whole life. They've always been in this victimhood. And the thing, it's like when you're so afraid of something and you're just so sure it's gonna be worse when you go that way, and you finally do it and it's actually better. It's like you're in hell thinking, oh no, that's the doorway to hell. But really that's the doorway out. But you don't know that until you go through that door. And that's what this person's experiencing today, is like the thing I was trying to avoid ends up being the very thing that's gonna set me free. And they were realizing how backwards they were going about this and how they were keeping themselves stuck in the same cycle. We have the thinking man in reverse. Like I said, this person's coming down off their high horse, off their ego, off their I have to be logical and analytical about this, and I can't be intuitive, or I can't tap into my feelings. Like, I have to, they're getting out of that because it's not self-serving. It was hurting them. And they realize that. All tied up. This person, okay, so in this photo, if you can tell, she's tied up, but she doesn't look too worried about it. She kind of looks like she knows how to get out of it. And that's what I'm getting. Like, this person feels tied up, but they feel like they know what to do. They know how to set themselves free now. That's the difference. It's not about being tied up or not. It's about if they believed they could get free or not. They didn't believe that before. Now they do. That's what's changing everything. And then a woman holding a heart in reverse. So this goes along with, see how she looks like cold and frozen? She has like frost on her eyelashes, but over here it's all red, and it's like his cold heart is warming, but at the same time, the coldness that he caused, he's now accepting responsibility for. So this person, it could have been like, it could have felt like they changed overnight, but really all this work was like very internal, and it was leading to this point. So maybe it's gonna feel like this overnight complete shift, but this person definitely, they definitely are never going back to how they were before. So this person's taking responsibility, stepping into their power, and now so many doors are opening for them. Like, so many things that they felt blocked on before, now it's open, and they really just feel like everything is as it's supposed to be now, and now I can truly live. So only good is going to come from this for this person and everyone involved with them. So that is all I'm getting for you, pile 3. Thank you so much for watching, and if you would like to see more, you can like and subscribe. I will see you next time. Goodbye.